Alright everybody, today is a new year and it's the 3rd of January, and I thought it would be fitting to do a rabbit because it's in the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the rabbit, and I love rabbits. I don't love them in my garden, but I do love to draw them. And I want to do a little bit of a easier, looser way of doing this one. And this is very sketchy and very loose watercolor. So get your paints out and let's have some fun with this cute little jackrabbit. Alright, I have my watercolor palette beside me here, and beside that, you can't see it in the frame, but it's a bucket of water. It has 2 compartments. One for rinsing, one for your clean water for using in your paint. And I also have 2 silver black velvet in number 8 and a number 6. You can get them in many different sizes. And my sketchbook is just a plain sketchbook. It's a little bit on the cream side. And I'm going to do the rabbit kind of in a loose manner of drawing and painting. I'm going to do a jackrabbit, and it just from the, say, shoulders up, and they have very, very long ears. So when I'm looking at a reference photo, and you can get many, many reference photos for jackrabbits or cottontail rabbits, whatever, you want to look at the shapes that are involved. So with the jackrabbit, I'm going to put his face down here. So now they have kind of a flat head, and then that kind of goes round at the back, and then the little, that's his back there. And they have a kind of a pointy nose sometimes. His little cheeks, or whatever you want to call it, would be about there. And then it comes up, comes down, and they actually have, they're kind of lean looking, I guess you could say. And then they have really big eyes, so kind of almond eyes. And they're about here, I guess. Nice and round. And then their nose, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit, and then just a slit in the nose. This will go away. But they also have like a eyebrow or a brow bone above there. So that's kind of the reason why you have this kind of point over here, or their forehead. And then they have these huge ears. So the ears are quite big and quite wide. And then we'll just put the other one will be kind of behind it there. Okay, so very simple. And then his whiskers will come off down here. Let's make his neck a little bit smaller. So you can take an eraser, I believe in erasers, and erase anything you don't want. You could stylize your bunny too. It doesn't have to be like this. He could have, I don't know, an expression on his face. It could be more on the comical side of things. Just make it fun. I'm just gonna punch this out just a smidgen. Okay. And his eyes are really dark. Now, the wild bunnies, you're not going to see the typical red eye that you see in white bunnies, the domestic bunnies. They don't have that red eye. And then this is the inside of his ear, and that's the back side because it's on the other side. They're kind of furry ears too. Like they're quite, especially in the winter, they're quite thick. And then you just have these whiskers. And this is going to be fairly loose, so I want it in the sienna colors. So I have a golden ochre in this palette. And I want to use a lot of water. And we'll also use some dark browns, so umbers, burnt umber. And if you don't have burnt umber, you can make your own up. A blue, a red, and a green will make you a brown. Now let's put a bunch of water, and I'm going to go past my line, because I want this to look very loose looking. And I'm not going to do all of the bunny. I'm just going to do bits and pieces of them. Okay, so let's put some of this lighter. So just swish it in. Swish it in. This one color while it's wet, and let it bleed out. Just into the nose area a little bit, maybe right down there, just a smidge. And I'm not going to rinse my brush, and I'm taking the darker color where it would be a little bit darker back here around the back, and right on the inside of the ear would be darker. Now I'm going to get a nice dark blue. Let's see. France blue, I think it is. And some umber, and that'll give me a dark color, almost a gray. You just have to play with it a bit with both of those colors to get the right hue you want. That's a little bit on the green side. Let's see. There we go. Okay, and his ears, the tips of their ears are really dark. So before this starts to go and drying on you, I'm just going to throw some water in there and let it do its thing. And you can, if you have watercolor paper, you can use the advantage of that by taking out also. And I'm going to put a little bit of this in here too, and let this mingle in there a little bit, and maybe in here. I can't do a whole lot because I have paper, so I have to watch how much I put on. So let's put a little bit on his nose too. You have the ochre color. And then let's dry it. Okay, it's all dry, and the inside of their ears, because they have such big ears, and especially if you're standing in front of it and the sunlight is shining through his ears, you'll see the blood flow, and that is so cool to put in your paintings. So let's put some pinks in here. So I have, let's see, Potter's Pink might be a good one. So I have some Potter's Pink here. I think I'll just see what it looks like. And I'm going to add some more water because I want it to kind of blend in a little bit. And I'm just going to put a smidgen on the other side too, because their ears are so transparent. You will see that. So we can just put just a smidgen of pink. And his nose will be pink. His eyes are, the iris of his eyes is a nice gold color, so we can use this same ochre gold, I guess, would be a good one. So just on the iris part, put that in. That. And black. So I have a neutral tint here that I can use for the black. I have fairly pointy brushes. These are the Silver Black Velvet, which are great for that. Okay, let's fix this a little bit. I'll just rub the edge so it's a little more fuzzy looking instead of hard. All right, and we'll give that a dry. So now what we can do is use a pen or a black colored pencil, whatever you like to work with. I'm going to use a pen, if I can find one in here. There's a 3. These are microperm. This is a 0.3. I like that size. It's just small enough, but not too big. And now we want to do some just sketchies. Kind of like, so you don't even have to follow your line. Just put in your marks now to basically enhance it. So let's see. I'll have some more there. Put the line in his nose a little bit more. You don't have to do everything. Sometimes I like to just enhance. And I'm not staying in the line of the paint either. I just want it very loose looking. You can add some marks for shadow if you want. So I'm just going to scribble some lines up here where the tips of the ears would be darker. And then of course we got this in here where it would be darker. And let's put the little, maybe you'd have a little bit of more shading in here, some more little marks for where his whiskers would be coming out. And let's put the head in like that. So very, very sketchy. Then the eyes, we have this eyebrow kind of thing here going. And then his eyes would have a little bit more dark around them. So we can put that in. Like that. And a bit more of a tear duct there. And then we might go back in for a little bit of defining these shadows in some of the areas. Or we can use this too. It's up to you. So there's kind of around his eye, it kind of puffs out a little bit. Like that. And we can put some shadows in there, a little more there maybe. And then just make sure those whiskers are in there really good. And they do have whiskers in their eyebrows too. Like that. And then I'm gonna just put some fuzz on the back of his neck here, just to show the direction of the fur. It doesn't have to be, this is a very loose rendition. Okay. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush and I go back into that golden color and just put a little bit of a shadowed area in there. Like that. Maybe just above this eye here. We can put some of that in there. I'm going to bring it just down into here a little bit. And a little bit darker under his chin, I think. Like that. And I like soft edges, so I just add plain water and let it do its thing. And there's our little hare, or bunny. So this is the year of the rabbit, if you didn't know. So I thought it would be kind of cool to put that in. So we could put in 2023. So let's see. And I like big letters or numbers. So we can do this. And if you want to get a stencil out and do the letters perfectly, there's nothing wrong with that. And then, let's see. Like this, and we'll just bring it out here, this. And you still get the idea of what this is. And then a 3. Kind of a weird 3, but it'll do. And then you can write stuff here if you want, Year of the Rabbit, or right there. And then what I'm going to do is you can either use your colors you used in the rabbit, or you can use something totally different. I'm just wetting the inside of these, and I'm just going to drop in some color. So I think I'm just going to use black and let it do its thing. So I'll take it just around here so it kind of falls down the 2, and right here, and then oh, we didn't wet that, so let's wet this 0 here, and a little bit more in here, maybe just the top part, and let it do its thing. Soak. You can always soak stuff up with your brush too. Just play with it. And then let's do the same for this too. So we got so it's just a real quick way of adding something to your watercolor journal, or your whatever you're doing. Maybe this is going to be part of your planners. This would be cool for one of the pages if you wanted to do that. Okay, like that. So nothing crazy, just something very simple. But it fills my sketchbook, and that's what I wanted. So 2023, and let's dry that. Okay, so now let's do a little more to the eye here. So I like putting a little bit of umber, something a little darker in the top part where the shadow of the eye would be. So I'm kind of just halfway almost in the eye. Let's make sure it's dark enough, like that. I just noticed I want that, I think that I want those ears a little darker, so I'm just going to add some of this black to the tips. Just take some water, blend it in a little bit. That's good. Maybe a little bit more in the back here. Down in here. And just play with it till you like it. Like that. All right. Okay, so it's loose, but I really like the look. So now what you can do is, if you have some gouache or acrylic paint even, don't have to use watercolor. I like using colored pencil even to just add a little something extra to the painting. So this is a Posca. It's acrylic marker, and I can put my little highlights in. So it might be a little mark on the where the tear ducts are in the corner of the eye. Sometimes we'll have a little bit of a highlight, and then across the top there's a couple marks like that. That's all you need. I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here, and maybe just a smidgen there, I think, and I'm just going to rub it. And I think the nose is good, but I'm going to put a little highlight on the nose too. Why not? Yeah, I think that's it. And then we can also just put in either, I think I'm going to put right here. So capital letters. And I'm just following the body shape. I'm going to put a dot there. And I'm not going to put of the, I'm just going to put year of rabbit. R-A-B-B-I-T. Okay, and then we can take maybe something a little bit thicker, or we could take the same. Let's see. My pen, where did it go? So and once we have this all put in, then we can erase any of these lines that are graphite. I like putting words in my watercolors. I've done that with quite a few actually of the bird drawing or paintings that I did. They have a whole bunch of. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, here a rabbit. And then just take an eraser after it's dried. So let's take a little bit of a heat gun to this and just erase. There. And then my initials can just go right here. This was the 23. And there's our first page for 2023. So I hope you'll give it a try. Just Google image of rabbits. There's tons of them. You don't have to get really detailed with them. Just have fun with it. You don't have to put the stuff in the 2023. You can just have the rabbit. But I think it's fun to try stuff like that. Let's see. See, I have the school here. There, rooster. Let's see. There's swan. That looks cool. A little bit thicker. But, you know, it's a sketchbook. Just play with stuff. See what you can do. I like it. If you're more into having a neater looking, then don't make it so loose. But I like it. I like to try different things. Alright, so I'll let you guys go and you have a fantastic day. Bye for now.